So how everybody doing? I wish everybody luck. Luck is something I don't live by, but people say it. A great day. You know what I say on the end of all my videos. I thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy Decopbo. There's so much go on. It was important for me to talk about this subject, even though I know that people might be tired of getting beat in the head with it. The reality of it is that some people only get information from Facebook. Some people don't look at the news. Some people are not looking at the channels that you might be looking at. Some people may not be reading. Some people might not be curious or even care enough to look and find out about this virus and what's going on and everything else. So I always try to keep that in consideration, and I promise to put this video up for the people who can't look at it on the internet, and I'll put it in my regular channels, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, etc., etc. But I promise I will put it on Facebook without having no one have to do anything but push play. And views or none of that won't be important, because it won't be that. It would just be a video. And glad I got that out the way. Took up too much time as it is. So what is our topic today? Our topic today is the coronavirus has killed more than people. Now, for the people that's part of youth normality, you have to understand this is part two. Okay, so just remember that if you write, if you're supposed to write something or say something or comment about it real quick before y'all leave, just know that this is part two. So, the coronavirus has been beaten to the public's head over and over and over and over and over and over again. And the thing that was transparent, the thing that wasn't transparent was the fact of what weather we were having. And what I mean by that is we were not in a common flu or cold state. And what you have to understand is, because we wasn't in a common cold or flu state, meaning weather, we were in the summertime, there was no parallel or warning about how similar the coronavirus is compared to the flu, compared to the cold, such and such. So, for those who don't understand the pattern, basically we are in the third wave. What the third wave means is that once it reaches a plateau where, even if it's bad, like 2,000 people, once it reaches that for a certain amount of days straight, it's basically stagnated. Once it goes back up, that's another wave, meaning that's another circulation of increasement, whether it's body or whatever. We are actually in the third wave. So I know that might be superficial to some people, because they're like, wave, what that mean? And I'll put the link on the bottom so y'all can get that, whatever. Now, why am I speaking about coronavirus killed more than just people? I don't know whether I got cut off or what happened, but I just got to stay focused, and I got to remind y'all that a lot of times, like when you talk about waves, you talk about clinical stuff, is pretty much something that you might want to stay away from, because everyone isn't clinically inclined to figure out or understand what you're saying, what you're trying to come across. So let's just keep it basic. I keep it basic like this. I told people that when I brought up the subject, coronavirus has killed more than just people. They thought that I was being insensitive. They thought that, how could you be talking about that? How could you mention anything other than the lives that's been taken through the coronavirus? And I gave them a quick rebuttal. I'm a nerd, so I can be intelligently sarcastic. So I gave him a couple of things, like, when the last time you been in the movies? When the last time you been to the mall? being sarcastic, but asking them questions to get themselves to catch on to the fact that they don't understand what I'm saying. Because they don't understand what I'm saying, like they're making fools of themselves. So basically, just to use those two examples, like, well, we have to understand that the word kill implies not having physical form. So when the word kill is established by or in a subject, you expect to understand that that thing in which you talk about will never be the same. Some people say that once a person dies, there's an afterlife, and that's fine and cool, but it never will be the same as if it was walking on the face of the earth. So malls, movies, will never be its authentic version of itself, never again. Therefore, it is killed. The original version of a movie, the original version of a movie is totally over. If I go into the movies and I have to sit 5 seats away from someone, that's not the generic reason that's not the generic that's not the authentic version of movies. Usually you go to movies, you're complaining because if it's a good movie that just came out, you got somebody next to you or you got somebody in front of you that's leaning the seat back, and we have all these things and complaints that we have, and now someone sits all the way across the room and we act like we don't pay attention to the fact that it's changed. I was when it first happened, I was in a relationship that I was in, and everybody keeps wondering or might be trying to figure out why I keep bringing up that relationship, because I'm a relationship guy. So everything happened in that relationship because I was in a relationship. Like, I was in a relationship for a long ass time. Like, and before that, I was in a relationship for a long ass time. Before that, I was married. Like, so I have no other viewpoints but the truth. And just because I'm not with that person doesn't mean that I'm a neglect or deny the memories or activities that I had with that person. That's called being in your feelings. And if you're in your feelings, that means you either still got feelings, or that means that, like, you feel some type of way about the situation. And I don't. I thank God for the good ones, and the bad ones I forget. So in that relationship was when it first happened. And I would say stuff that she would think that I was totally crazy. Right? She would say stuff like, why are you watching this channel about skinning, and they call it field dressing, deer and moose and animals and squirrels? And I'm not going to sit here and say like I predicted the future, like I knew that we was going to go to the supermarket. No, that's not what I'm saying. So get it right. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that something told me, anything that's in your portfolio, anything that's in your arsenal that you haven't perfected, you need to know it. How many people are aware, or how many people are in contact with the food to table ratio? With the food to table rationality, meaning like I go get my food, not go to a supermarket. Listen. When it first happened, we broken up, and we went to a shop, right? A Walmart. Tried to go to BJ's. Went to all these places. There was no chicken there. No toilet paper. Nothing essential was there. And you talk about people freaking out. Family members calling each other this and the third. You know why? And there was some people in America that wasn't bothered at all, because they like, I don't go to the supermarket anyway. How long does it take for you to go from human to animalistic? 3 days. These are all things people don't talk about. They don't discuss these things, and I don't understand why, because it's not taboo, it's not weird, it's the truth. You only take 3 days for you to go from humane to animalistic once food and water runs out and you have an ability, or you have a responsibility to feed you or others. That means that the pastor that's at the church, once he got a family to feed, he go hungry, he gonna start breaking in and stuff. Why? Because humans have the greatest need to survive than any animal on the face of the earth. That's why we destroy everything on the face of the earth, because we are trying to survive. So I say all that to say that while we are counting the bodies and counting the deaths, and while we counting all this stuff, we need to get familiar. Why was I always talking about fishing on the other channel? Why was I always? Because I needed to find a way to find and provide food for those that I love without having to go inside of a store or a supermarket. And I didn't want to have to learn on the fly. And if you asked me 3 months before the coronavirus came, would I ever worry about going to a supermarket and there not being food? I would have told you that you were crazy. This is America. How could there not be food in the supermarket? And it happened. So, funerals. If you told me that there was a time that someone in my family was dying and I couldn't go see him, I would tell you, first of all, I'm going to be in jail. Second of all, there's no way in the world, and I just thank God and the God of my understanding, that my mother, my sons, none of my brothers and sisters, I could not imagine a day that I would have to look through a video monitor and understand that this was the last time I would see my family member alive. Not only has coronavirus made more people die than necessary, it has destroyed and has killed the process in which we mourn. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The disease in which they died, the way in which they died, didn't kill it. Coronavirus killed it. You can't go visit your family right now. You have a choice. Either your family passes away at home or they pass away in a facility. And if they pass away in a facility, you can't basically see them. So even the way we mourn has been killed. So I need everybody to understand that we are in the beginning of a wave. We are having more record numbers in both hospitalizations and deaths. And it's about to get cold. And flu season about to come. And flu and coronavirus has such close symptoms. Sometimes you can't tell them apart without testing. So, it's not the time to relax. It's not the time to put yourself at ease. It's not the time for you to stop thinking. It's not the time for you to take off your mask. It's not the time for you to go visit your family and start celebrating. It's not the time for none of that. People say, oh, well, it's a vaccine. Hey, man, to God be the glory. Peace be upon you. Lord knows on God that you can take that if you want to. And I'm not telling you not to. I'm saying I'm going to wait a little while to see. I'm going to let the lab mice do the work. I'm going to let the lab mice get the vaccine first and see what happened to the lab mice before I take it myself. And unfortunately, people are lab mice right now. And I'm not saying that it might not work. It might work absolutely, positively, the greatest. But I can't lie to my people. That's not why I'm here. And I'm trying to tell you, if you ever want to understand what I'm saying, you can Google it and research it yourself. Because all I'm doing is regurgitating information. The normal time to create a vaccine is 1 to 2 years. More likely 2. They created a vaccine in 6 months. If I told you that your car needed fixing and it would take 4 months to fix your car, and I brought it to you in a month, would you drive it? Remember, this is just meant for you to think. It's not meant for you to follow. I am not meant to lead. I am here to start communication, meaning to start conversations, to get people to talk, to come up with their own conclusions, and to give my peoples who are under my voice chance, because today is Thursday and Friday's coming, and they're going to want home passes and go home for the holidays and all that kind of stuff. And I want to make sure that I give them the same option that I always gave them when they signed up for me, that I don't lose trust, that I don't start falling off, that I don't start doing what I want, because at the end of the day, I made one pledge to them, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. My word is all I have now. Before, when my word meant nothing, now it means everything. And if I tell y'all from youth normality that I will be here and I will give you something to learn, but also something easy, so everything you learn in your life doesn't have to be hard, then I will do so. Once again, if no one told you today that they love you, I do. And then I don't love you for a reason or for something that I get. I love you because, I love you because I'm a person of love, and that's what we do. Also, you gotta understand, when you wake up in the morning, you can wake up in the morning and you can feel good and have a great day on purpose. Not because you got paid or you got that lady or that dude that you wanted, but just simply because you woke up, and there's a lot of dead people who would love to take your place. Most importantly, last but not least, if you are miserable, know that you're a participant in your misery, because the same thing that's making you miserable, you have the right to remove it from your life, therefore removing the reason that you are miserable, therefore removing misery. It's your boy Decopbo. Decopbo 1. Happy holidays.